Hi everyone, and welcome to Yoga by Now Jess. I'm Jess. Today's class is a Hatha style class and it's all based around the hips. We're going to get into some hip openers and we're going to have a nice long stretch towards the end. As always, just do what feels good in your body today. If something doesn't feel quite right or it's too much, then just take it back a little bit and rest whenever you feel like it. Let's go ahead and get started in an easy cross-legged position. If the hips are particularly tight, you can always sit up on a pillow or some blankets, a block or a bolster if you've got those handy. But otherwise, just sinking the hips heavy, feeling both sit bones evenly on the mat. Close the eyes. Let the spine grow tall. Take a few long, deep breaths in and out through the nose. Trying to make the inhales and the exhales the same length, but not trying to force or put too much pressure on the breath. Just try and let it be steady and even. Feel the hips really rooted into the ground. Feel the legs heavy. And feel the spine nice and tall, the head light on the top of the shoulders. A couple more deep breaths. Setting yourself up for today's practice. And when you're ready, just gently blinking the eyes open and getting ready to start some gentle movement. So taking both hands onto the knees, we're just going to gently take some circles. So we're going to warm up through the torso and the hips at the same time. And use your breath to flow with the movement. So as you inhale, start to bring the chest forward. Open up through the collarbones. And as you exhale, start to scoop through the belly, round through the shoulders. And use your own breath to flow in some nice big circles. Your breath doesn't have to be the same as mine. If you're practicing with anyone, it doesn't have to be the same as theirs. Just has to feel good in your body today. Beautiful. One more big circle. Taking your time, no rush. When you get back to the center, we're going to reverse and go the opposite direction. Enjoying the spine starting to warm up. If this is the first kind of movement that you've done for the day, then just be really gentle and kind to yourself. Even if it's not the first movement, if this is the end of the day, still be kind to yourself. You might have been sitting all day, you might feel a bit stiff. So just let the warm up be gentle and easy. And then coming back through center, inhale the arms up towards the sky. Exhale, gently twisting towards the right. Sitting up nice and tall in the twist, using the back hand to help lift. And gently back through center, reaching tall. And exhaling to the other side. As with all my classes that I teach, I encourage you to move slowly and mindfully, so not rushing from pose to pose, enjoying the moments in between as well. Coming back through center, reaching tall, and exhale the hands back down on towards the mat, and starting to gently walk the hands out in front of you. Drop the head, let the neck be relaxed. And then coming back up, swapping the legs so that the opposite foot is in front in your easy cross-legged position. Taking the hands back down onto the mat in front of you, and again just walking them slowly out long, and then dropping the head, rounding through the spine. You should feel the stretch through the outside of the hips, probably more in the leg with the foot that's in front. And gently coming back up. I'm going to sit so that the legs are straight out in front of you now. Flex the feet and pick up the toes. Try and bring the toes towards you. Put a little bend through the knees to start. Inhale the arms up towards the sky. Exhale, fold forward. You can take the hands onto the shins or the ankles, maybe the toes if they reach. We want to stretch forward at the moment with a long spine. Seeing if you can keep the chest open and heading forward. Keep the gaze out in front of you. And hold on to those long, steady breaths. And then gently releasing, coming back up. I'm going to take the right knee, or right foot, bend the knee and bring the foot up close. Let the knee drop out to the side and let the right foot push into the thigh on the left. Spin the torso over the left leg. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Again, with a nice straight back. So if that means that you don't bend as deeply, that's fine. You want to try and keep the chest open. Take the gaze out in front of you. Hands can go again onto the shin or the ankle or the foot, wherever they reach. Enjoy some nice, long, steady breaths here. Enjoy the opportunity as we're holding poses today to sit in some stillness. Notice if there are thoughts or feelings that are coming up as we're enjoying these stretches today. And if they are, just acknowledge them, let them come and go. Try not to put any judgment on the thoughts as they pass. It's just how the mind works. Then just bring your focus back towards long, steady breaths. And then gently coming back, taking the right hand behind you, fingers facing away. We're going to push through the mat and lift up through the hips, and maybe take the left arm up and over. Push the hips up towards the sky. And then gently lower back down. Bring both legs straight and then bend the left leg up. Let the knee fall out to the side, the left foot against the right thigh, and then spin the torso over the right leg. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold. Again, long, steady breaths. Try and let the collarbones be open, gazing forward. See if you can notice a different from side to side as well. So we don't often, particularly if you're female, we might sit with our legs crossed, we carry bags and kids on one side. So we quite often have an imbalance through our bodies that we really notice in the hips. So notice if you have one side that's a bit tighter than the other, that's all right. And then gently rolling up, taking the left hand behind, turning the fingers away from you, pushing through the shoulder to lift the hips up. Maybe take the right arm up and over, hips towards the sky. Beautiful, gently coming back. And then we're going to transition over towards a tabletop. Excellent. Just move through 1 or 2 cat-cows in your own breath, dropping the belly. Exhale, pushing through the tops of the shoulders. Excellent. And then coming back to neutral. You stay where you are. I'm going to spin so you can see a little bit more easily. And taking the right leg out to the side, and placing the foot flat on the mat so that the toes are facing the same direction as your body is. Activating the core and bringing yourself up and taking the right hand on top of the right leg, inhaling the left arm up and then gently bending towards the right. Beautiful. Long, steady breaths. Really feel that stretch down through the left side. Active legs, so you're not just sinking into the legs here. And gently coming back up, coming back onto your tabletop and switching to the other side. So the left leg goes out long, foot flat on the mat, slowly bringing yourself up. Left hand onto the left leg, right arm goes up, and then a gentle stretch to the right. Beautiful. Easing yourself out of that pose, and back towards your tabletop, tucking the toes, taking a big breath in. And then with the exhale, lifting the hips, sending them up and back, downward facing dog. So take a few moments to settle into the first down dog. Pedaling out through the feet, letting the backs of the legs gently open. Maybe shaking out the hips. Beautiful. And then come to find a few moments of stillness here. Long, steady breaths, tailbone pointing up towards the sky. Give the head a shake. And we're going to inhale the right leg up towards the sky. Keep the toes pointing down. You want to try and keep the hips neutral. So we're not opening them yet. We're going to keep them steady. And see if you can lift that right leg a little bit higher without opening up through the hips. Push through the hands. Good job. One more big breath in. And then as you exhale, come forward through plank. And we're going to place the right foot between the hands at the front of the mat. With the back knee lifted still, strong legs, we're going to bring ourselves up to a crescent lunge. A little bend through the back knee will help tilt the pelvis so that you've really got to stretch through that front left hip flexor. Beautiful. Strong through both legs. We're going to open up through Warrior Two. Check in with the front knee, make sure it's heading straight. A little trick is to, if you look down, make sure you can see your toes on the inside of the knee. And pushing into the outside edge of the back foot, the left foot. Reach the arms long. Flip the palm of the left hand. Reach the arms up and over to reverse your warrior. Leave the legs exactly where they are. Back through warrior two. We're going to take the right elbow onto the right knee and lift the left arm up and over, reaching long. So you should be one long line from your left foot all the way up through the left hand. We're going to keep a little tilt in the pelvis so that we're really opening up through those hips. Beautiful. Take a few moments to breathe here. The neck can be wherever feels good. So you can gaze up if that's okay in your body, or if it feels better, take a gaze down at the right leg. Big breath in and a big breath out. And as you inhale, coming back up, reversing your warrior. Keep the legs where they are. Exhale, the hands down onto the mat, step back to a downward facing dog. Taking a breath here. Now moving on to the left side, lifting the left leg up to the sky, strong through both arms, toes pointing down to the ground. You can rotate the inner thigh up towards the sky to help keep that pelvis neutral. So you can lift the leg a little bit higher. Big breath in, and as you exhale, come forward through plank, hug the knee in, place it between the hands at the front of the mat, and use strong legs to bring you up to a crescent lunge. Take a few breaths here. Beautiful. Feel that juicy stretch out through the front of that right hip flexor. Big breath in. Exhale, open up to warrior two. Again, we're going to hold this for a few breaths. So take the time to check the legs. Check the pelvis is tucked under, opening through the hips. That front left knee is not heading in or out. And we're pushing through the outside edge of that right foot. Gazing over the front left hand. Beautiful. Flip the palm of the left hand, leave the legs exactly where they are. Reach up and over to reverse your warrior. Coming back up, dropping the left elbow to the left knee. Taking the right arm up and over. Legs stay where they are. Gazes wherever feels good on the neck. Try not to sink and collapse into this left shoulder so you're using strong legs and the core. And then bring yourself up, reverse the warrior. Cartwheel the hands down onto the mat. We're going to step forward to a forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. And we're going to tiptoe the feet out towards about mat width apart and drop the hips low, coming into Malasana or a yogi squat, keeping the elbows to the insides of the knees, bringing the hands to prayer. Beautiful. If it feels good, you can rock the hips from side to side here. If it feels better to just stay still, then do that. Now the option is to just stay here and enjoy this, or you can take the right hand down onto the mat, reach it long away from you. See if you can work the right shoulder down to the inside of the right knee. Reach long and then open up through the chest, reaching the left arm long. Gently coming back through center, taking a breath here. Long spine. And then we're going to let the left hand reach long onto the mat. Left shoulder to the inside of the left knee. Reach the right arm long. And gently coming back through center. One long breath here. And as you exhale, bring the hands onto the mat. Shift the weight forward. Start to bring the hips up. And then heel toe the feet back to about hip width distance. Let the head relax. Bend the knees, rolling up to standing. Take the shoulders up towards the ears, roll them back and down. Beautiful. Inhale the arms up towards the sky. Exhale them down to heart center. We're going to take the balance into our left leg, pick up the right foot, flex the foot, bend the knee, and see if you can place the right foot onto the left knee and let the right knee fall out to the side. So see how this feels in your body. You can stay here. So you're opening up through that right hip. We're bringing some balance into our day. So again, options and choices. You can stay here or inhale the arms up towards the sky and exhale, start to sit down into a chair pose, but keeping this right knee out to the side and the hip open. Beautiful. See if you can sit a little bit lower. Keep the chest open. Big breath in and exhale. See if you can fold. Maybe reaching the fingertips onto the mat, leaving the leg where it is. And then gently releasing the leg and come to a forward fold. Give the hips a shake. Bend and straighten the legs. Give the head a shake out. Beautiful. Bend the knees, rolling up to standing. Shoulders up towards the ears, big circle. Mountain pose. Inhale the arms up towards the sky. Exhale them down through heart center. Shift the weight onto the right foot. Pick up the left, flex the foot, bend the knee, and then drop the left foot onto the right knee. Option to stay here. Opening up through this hip. Or if it feels good, inhale the arms up. Exhale, sit down into a chair. For balance, it helps to try and find a point of focus, either on the ground a couple of meters in front of you or on the wall straight out in front of you. Something that's not moving. Big breath in. And exhale, fold. Again, try and keep the leg where it is, fingertips onto the mat. And then gently release, shake out through the legs. Have a little sway from side to side. Beautiful. Bending the knees, placing the hands on the mat, stepping back to a plank. Always the option to drop the knees in plank if that feels better. And then we're going to head back up to downward facing dog. Feel free to go through child's pose. There's no rush, so enjoy the transitions between the poses today. Enjoy how we're getting from each pose to the other. Inhale the right leg up towards the sky. I'm going to come forward through plank, hug the knee in towards the chest, place it between the hands at the front of the mat, and come up to a crescent lunge. Beautiful. Big breath in. Exhale, open out through warrior two. You've got the time, can check the legs, check the hips, relax the shoulders away from the ears, reach long. Flip the palm, reverse the warrior. Come back up through warrior two and then drop the left or the right elbow, onto the right knee. Take the left arm long. If this felt really good before and you'd like to stay here, then by all means go for it. Otherwise, if you're wanting to open up through the hips a little bit more, see if you can maybe take this right hand down towards the mat. It might reach all the way, it might not. If you've got a block or maybe some books, feel free to take your hands onto that. Try and keep the left shoulder open. Beautiful. Strong legs bring you back up through warrior two. And then as you exhale, we're going to bring both feet so they're facing the side of the mat. Straighten both legs. Take the hands to the hips, big breath in. And as you exhale, hinging at the hips, we're going to come to a wide-legged forward fold. Take the time, heading down slowly. Place the hands onto the mat. Let the head and the neck relax. And see how this feels in your body. If you want to take the feet out wider or bring them closer in because that feels better, then go for it. Just be mindful of pressure through the knees and keep the feet facing the front of the room or the side of the mat. Beautiful. Take a couple of breaths here. Just like in downward facing dog, we want to point the tailbone up towards the sky. I'm going to inhale to a halfway lift. So a long flat back. We want to send the collarbones open, chest to the front of the room. And as you exhale, I want you to take the hands towards the left and reach over the left leg. Gently bring yourself back through center, halfway lift, a long spine. And then exhale to the other side. Gently coming back through center, inhale. Active core, strong legs, bring the hands back to the hips and slowly bring yourself back up to standing. Excellent. Now we're going to move back towards warrior two, but we're going to face the opposite direction. So take the left foot, face it forward, adjust the stance if you need to, and move towards a warrior two, facing the back of the room. Take the arms long. Again, we've got time here, so check in and see how it feels. Beautiful. Flip the palm, reverse your warrior, legs stay where they are. Exhale back through warrior two. Take the left elbow to the left knee, reach the right arm long. Again, feel that opening through that hip. Try and keep the knee over the ankle. Option to stay here, or maybe reach the left hand down towards the mat or a block or some books. Keeping the right shoulder open. And then strong legs bring you back through warrior two. Reverse the warrior. Come back up through warrior two. Both legs face the side of the mat again. This time we're going to bring the heels in so the toes are out on a 45-degree angle. Make the stance a little bit shorter. Inhale the arms up towards the sky. And as you exhale, we're going to squat down towards a goddess pose. So arms go to cactus. The knees track out the same direction as the feet. Inhale the arms towards the sky. Exhale, squat low. Two more just like that in your own breath. Inhale, tall. Exhale, squat low. One more. Exhale, squat low. Hold this here. Couple of breaths, long and steady. Check in with the legs. keep them strong. And then we inhale up. Exhale, pivot back towards the front of the mat. Hands go down onto the earth. Step back to downward facing dog. Pedal out through the legs. Check in to see how they feel. Do they feel different from when we started this practice? Are they feeling a little bit looser? Inhale the right leg up towards the sky. This time we're going to bend the knee, keep the foot flexed, and open up through the hip. Just the hip, keep the right shoulder down. Come back through center, forward through plank, and take the right foot to the outside of the right hand. I'm going to move through some lizards, so feel free to stay here. Or maybe drop the back knee and settle into the hips here. You can have a little sway from side to side. So if this feels good, stay here. If you want to take it a little bit further, maybe see if you can walk the hands out a little bit in front of you and start to bring the chest down towards the mat a little bit. Active hands, strong legs. Try and keep the neck as an extension of the spine here. One more long breath. And then walk the hands back under the shoulders. Again, option to stay here, or maybe bend up through the back knee, reach the right arm up and over, and reach towards the back foot. Let the hips soften. Push through the left hand. Turn the chest up towards the sky, open the shoulder. Excellent, gently let go, bring the hands back. We're going to tuck the toes of the left foot and step back to downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up towards the sky, bend the knee, open up through the hip. Keep that left shoulder down, so you should have equal weight through both hands. Bring the leg back to neutral. Come forward through plank and step it to the outside of the left foot. So option to stay here. See how that feels. Maybe drop the back knee and enjoy a stretch here. So you don't have to be the same from side to side. So that's why I like to take these more kind of intense stretches step by step, so you can just take it as far as feels good for you. If this feels good, then stay here. If you feel like you've got a little bit more, come up onto the fingertips, start to walk the hands away, start to bring the chest a little bit further down towards the mat. The neck is an extension of the spine. One more long deep breath here. And then bring the hands back under the shoulders. See how that feels. Stay here. Maybe bend the back knee. Reach the left arm up and over. Beautiful. So you should feel this through the hips as well as through the front of that right leg. Gently letting go, bringing the hands back, tuck the toes, stepping back to downward facing dog. From here, we're going to tiptoe the feet up towards the hands at the front of the mat. Take a forward fold. And then start to squat the legs down, bend the knees, and come to sit on the bum. And then we're going to lay all the way down so that we're on our backs. Hug the knees in towards the chest. Have a little rock from side to side. Massage out through the lower back. And keep the right knee hugged in towards the chest. Straighten the left leg and then take it straight out onto the mat, keeping the toes flexed. Pull that right knee in. And then one more little hip opener. We're going to take the left hand onto the left hip to keep it down. Take the right leg in the right hand. Gently take the knee out to the side. Open up through the hip. Just as far as feels comfortable. And slowly coming back through center. Bringing both knees in towards the chest. Keep the left knee in, take the right leg up towards the sky, and then gently lower the leg onto the mat to reach it long away from you. Toes up towards the sky still. Right hand onto right hip, and gently open out through the left leg. Beautiful. Gently coming back through center. Hug both knees in. And take the feet onto the mat. Keep the feet together. Let the knees fall out to the side. Take one hand onto the belly, one hand onto the chest, and close the eyes. We're going to start our rest here. If this feels particularly difficult and you've got some blocks or bolsters or something or pillows you can put under each leg, then go for it. If you don't, then feel free to come out whenever it gets too much. Take a few breaths here if you can. Letting the body sink and relax with each exhale. And then take the hands to the outside of the legs, gently help them to come back in. And then we're going to take the feet out as wide as the mat and let the knees fall in towards each other. One hand belly, one hand chest, closing the eyes. Coming back to the breath. Letting the exhales slowly melt any tension you're still finding through the body. And checking in to see how you feel. Hip openers can bring up a lot of stuff for us sometimes. Lots of people know that you can hold tension through the shoulders. You can also hold a lot of tension through the hips. So a class like this can kind of release some of that. So be really kind and gentle to yourself for the rest of the day. Beautiful. Feel free to stay here. Move the legs straight into a normal Shavasana. Take the hands out straight, palms facing up. And resting here. Feel free to rest in Shavasana for as long as feels good for you today. There's no rush to do anything, to go into whatever you've got next. Take the time that you need to really let the practice sink in. As I said, be kind, compassionate to yourself. I thank you so much for letting me guide you through today's practice. I really hope that you enjoyed it and that you got something out of it. Let me know. I love to hear your feedback, and I'm looking forward to practicing with you again soon. Have a great day.